Hey guys, so today we're going to read Marisol McDonald Doesn't Match. But first, let's think about what genre of text this is. What are genres of text? Well, a genre is kind of like a grouping, things that are similar but different from another group. So if I was going to group people, girls and boys, there I would put girls over here and boys over here. Books are kind of the same, so a dictionary would be very different than reading the Three Little Pigs, right? Absolutely. And a textbook would be different than reading a poetry book, right? They're both books, but they're different. So I could group all poetry books over here, and I could group all informational texts over here, or I could group all dictionaries and textbooks over here. So let's think about what Marisol McDonald doesn't match. What kind of a book is that? What genre would that be in? So here are our genres right here. Fiction, that's like a fake made-up story. Nonfiction, that's gonna be real things like a biography, textbook, informational text, a cookbook. Folk tales are made up. So often you'll have like talking animals and they'll have a lesson to teach us. Drama, absolutely. We have our like readers theater, our drama. And poetry, things that rhyme, things that aren't necessarily chapter books or really long pages. They could be very short or spaced and formatted in a kind of a weird way where we might only have 4 words in a line. So which one are you thinking, which literary genre is Marisol McDonald? Is it real? No. Is it a folk tale? I don't know, I haven't read it yet, but I'm kind of thinking it's fiction, right? Because I see a girl on the cover. I'm a girl. Looks like she might be doing something. So it's probably a made-up story that could happen. So that's called realistic fiction. So if it's a story that actually could happen, it's not true, it didn't actually happen, but it could, that's called realistic fiction. That would be different than like a fable or a mystery or a science fiction, because those things don't happen. Like we can't really have aliens coming through in spaceships. That's not real, so that wouldn't be realistic fiction. So realistic fiction, it hasn't happened, but it could happen. It's a story with characters just like you and me, going through things that we all could have gone through too. So realistic fiction is the genre of Marisol McDonald. Now, realistic fiction, it's most likely going to happen, or the most likely book that would actually happen, right? Realistic fiction, its storyline could actually happen. It's gonna have characters, a setting, and a plot. And oftentimes it has a lesson to teach us, or kind of like a moral of the story. So what do I mean by characters? What does that mean? Yeah, the people, the characters, the people going through the story, or animals, right? But in this case, since it's realistic fiction, it'll be people. Characters are those people in the story. What are they thinking? What are they doing? What are they saying? What are they learning, right? So what are those characters? What do they look like? Characters. Setting, what do I mean by setting? What does that mean? Yeah, that's where it takes place. So is this book gonna take place at her school? At her home? Maybe in her neighborhood? Does it specify a state or a country? So the setting is where the book takes place. The characters are the people in the book. And the plot, what is the plot? A plot is like what happens? What's the conflict? What's changing and growing, and what are we doing here? It would be really boring to read a book and it says, someone's walking down the street. They're still walking. They keep walking. They walked some more. The end. That wouldn't be a plot, right? Nothing happened. I need some conflict. What did we learn? Where did we grow? Where was everything going all smooth, and then something happened to shake the waters? So if I was, okay, we're walking, and then I tripped and I fell, that would be the first conflict, right? So what's the resolution? The resolution is the solution. So what would the resolution be? Maybe I turn the page and a friend comes by to help. Maybe I turn the page and we, fix ourselves up with a Band-Aid or something. What is the resolution there? Maybe I learned that I need to look where I'm going. Maybe I was on my phone texting and I tripped and fell. And so maybe that's the lesson or the moral of the story. So the plot is kind of the good and bad, the ebb and flow of what happens in the book to give us that story, the interest, right? Okay, awesome. So just to recap, characters are the people and animals in the story. If it's realistic fiction, it's gonna be people. The setting is where the story takes place. The plot, that's the conflict and the resolution. And events, the things that happen in a story, you're just gonna kind of timeline those out. I know you all know what a timeline is. So events that are the things that happen in a story. And they usually change a character, affect the mood, or build the plot. So after we read Marisol McDonald Doesn't Match, go ahead and fill each one of these out, just kind of making note of the characters, the setting, the plot, and the events that happened in the story. And after you read it, go ahead and compare your predictions. We did predictions yesterday of what was going to happen. What did we think is going to happen in this book? Were you right? Were you way off? Were you kind of right? So go ahead and compare those, okay? I want to see what happened. All right.